In the quiet, dusty town of Ariel, there's a story whispered from one generation to the next. It's the story of a boy named Tunde, a boy who loved to draw faces. He was just 15, shy and soft-spoken, with eyes that seemed to hold entire worlds within them. While his father sold building materials and his mother ran a small shop, Tunde was known for one thing and one thing only: his art. He had a remarkable gift. With just a single glance, his pencil would glide across paper, bringing a person's likeness to life. It wasn't just skill. It felt like something more, something magical. At first, this gift brought pride to his family. Neighbors would commission him to draw portraits for birthdays and anniversaries. Tunde would sit by his window after school, lost in a world of shadows and lines, capturing the essence of everyone he drew. But then, the magic turned dark. The first sign was Baba Kunle, the friendly carpenter from across the street. He'd asked Tunde for a portrait to hang in his new shop. Tunde drew him with a wide, gap-toothed smile, and everyone praised the work. But just a week later, Baba Kunle passed away. It was sudden, unexpected. A few people noticed something unsettling. The smile on his face in the casket was the very same smile Tunde had captured on paper. It was dismissed as a coincidence, a sad twist of fate. The whispers grew louder after Miss Angela, Tunde's kind-hearted teacher. She'd always encouraged his talent. One day she playfully asked him, "Tunde, draw me looking young and beautiful so I can hang it on the wall when I travel." He laughed and did as she asked. A week later, a sudden illness took her. At the funeral, mourners couldn't help but notice the faint, serene smile on her lips, a mirror image of the one in Tunde's drawing. Coincidence was no longer a comforting word. Fear began to seep into the town's foundations. The third incident sealed it. A boy in Tunde's class, Sei, was known for teasing him. One afternoon, filled with frustration, Tunde sketched Sei's face, a sharp jawline, a mischievous grin, and left the drawing on his desk. The following week, Sei didn't show up for school. His parents were distraught. He was perfectly fine one day and gone the next. And just like the others, he was found with a peaceful smile gracing his features. The town turned on Tunde. A quiet unease morphed into open suspicion. Mothers would hurry their children away from him. His mother's shop became empty, his father's business withered. The boy who was once the town's pride became its pariah. Tunde, confused and heartbroken, couldn't understand why he was being shunned. He stopped drawing, terrified of the stares, terrified of the strange power he seemed to possess. He locked his pencils away, but the itch in his fingers, the artist's calling, never truly left him. It was the only thing that ever quieted the noise in his head. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in shades of orange and purple, he couldn't resist any longer. He sat by his familiar window, picked up a pencil, and faced a small, cracked mirror. This time the face he drew was not a neighbor's or a classmate's. This time he drew himself. He carefully traced the lines of his own face, the sadness in his eyes, and when he finished, he added a small, faint smile. The next morning, his mother's calls to wake him went unanswered. She found him at his desk, his head resting peacefully on the open sketchbook, a pencil still held loosely in his hand. His face was calm, serene, and on his lips there was the hint of a smile. After that day, the sketchbook vanished. Tunde's father, in a silent act of grief and fear, burned everything from his son's room. But the story didn't end there. For weeks and then years, people in Oril would swear they could hear something strange on quiet nights. A soft, rhythmic scratching sound, like a pencil on paper coming from the direction of Tunde's old window. Some say it's just the wind whispering through the trees. But others believe that Tunde's gift, or curse, never really died. They say it's still out there, somewhere between this world and the next, sketching the faces that only the heavens can see. And even now, if you find yourself walking past that old, weathered house as dusk settles over the town and a sudden breeze brushes against your cheek, you might feel a strange sensation. The feeling that someone is watching you, capturing your image, and perhaps, just perhaps, sketching your smile. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the unknown. We'll see you next time.